nights when you've tucked your dogs in tight. Oh yeah, sleep apnea's gonna get you. 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 Breathe right, sleep tight, da da da.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. I'm Jay Skeets, back in the Atlanta Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Basketball lovers, this is for you.
Over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are, just the three of us in the factory. Trey back in Illinois with the family and eventually the friends for this week. He's going to be doing a golf trip with the bros. Mm-hmm. A bunch of 6'5" giants out on the golf course, just smashing away.
36
ripping up the course.
holes in a matter of 18 hours or something.
Is that what he said? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. 54 holes. 36 holes first day. Back to back,
too much golf.
and then 18 the next day. So
Wow.
That's impressive.
Well, good luck.
That's hard.
We did ask him to get a hole in one for us. Make sure you're filming when you get a TK. Yeah, we're back here though from Vegas. Got back on Sunday. Mm-hmm. You took off 45 minutes before us.
Yeah.
Had a nice meal at Chili's, and then Jess was getting on the flight ahead of us.
I had
We were right after
Starbucks,
You.
but-
You had Starbucks, but joined us at Chili's.
They probably took just as long to serve.
At
both.
Starbucks?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Our food came way quicker
I
than
know.
yours. Yeah.
Starbucks took forever.
Anyway, we got back. We had some fun. Shout out to everybody that came out to our live show on Friday night, or Friday, at the Mandalay Bay Resort in the Sportsbook. Great turnout. We did a squad episode. That's up on YouTube and obviously in the podcast feed. And then on Saturday, we tried something different. We went to the Thomas & Mack Center. We did a walk and talk. Mm-hmm. We just walked around the concourse, did a full lap, took in the sights and sounds, talked to some fans, found some random jerseys, saw all the things, and we made that into a fun, very fun 20-minute video. That's just up on YouTube. So I say to the podcast listener, come on over to No Dunks on YouTube and check out this vid that JD, his son Jackson, and Esh helped all put together, because it ended up being a blast. People are getting a kick out of this. So maybe we got something here, Tass.
It was fun. Yeah, they have done a better job of putting things in the concourse. That really helped, because it used to be a naked concourse.
Yeah,
frankly.
you're not
There
wrong.
used to be not a lot. I thought it was going to be a lot more talking between us, but there was more things to do out there.
Yeah, like Pop a Shot, and we played like arcade game, other
played that
arcade
Fast
games.
Furious game.
Yeah, and then just like a bunch of trophies.
Yeah, we saw the Larry O'Brien was there, being guarded by a person on a 2.5-hour shift. That was weird.
The quietest talker of all time.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we didn't do a very good job
No.
of getting the microphone in his mouth.
Our mic
That's
work was bad, but even when it was in front of his mouth, that man was a quiet guy.
Yeah, I wanted to know about him having to stand there for 2.5 hours without going to pee.
Yeah.
Although somebody did say, who watched the video, that they did think that they saw him go to the bathroom like seconds after we passed him.
He had just been holding it in until the cameras came, and then he felt good to go.
You just mentioning it made him want to go, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. But I think it's
a good point.
He's like, I gotta. I do want to say one quick thing. I do regret what we said about the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. Not that we saw them, but we said it wasn't that good.
I don't.
I know.
What, you saw clips and you were convinced it's amazing looking?
Well, the show, more so the video show. You go pay $200 to $400 basically for a video show, and to remember some songs specifically from the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, the crowd is into it. I mean, I assume it was their opening weekend in the Sphere, was it not?
It was their opening weekend.
So
100%.
yeah, you're gonna get obviously the most diehard Backstreet Boys fans of all time. So the crowd's gonna be hyped. And they've got bangers, they got sing-along songs, but I just thought it looked like complete shit.
Which part?
I didn't think the video looked all that amazing either.
I think it's
It looked
cool.
like so bootleg to me. It was like they put it into AI and it spit out all these graphics to me.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
And then the dancing. Oh, like I said, I was like,
Well, yeah. Dancing aside,
it's like, oh my god.
singing aside, the Backstreet Boys, that part aside,
The dancing and the singing.
The dancing aside, the Backstreet Boys
If you
was a good
expected
show.
to have,
What are you talking?
If you expected to have great Backstreet Boys dancing here in the year 2025 when they couldn't do it in 1995, then what do you think this is? Their AI, a second coming of the Backstreet Boys?
I mean, yeah, they might as well.
A rebirth. I just thought the videos
Back
were good enough.
and the Street and the Boys aside, the Backstreet Boys were a hell of a show.
I think they've done a good job of putting videos together. Maybe the videos that you saw of the videos, because you probably saw people filming the actual videos coming up over the dome, over top of it. Maybe they weren't good quality. But listen, you're paying $200-$300 for a cool video. I think it was pretty cool. You go right into space, you get on a rocket, you go directly into
than
space.
Life, baby.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I would pay just
think,
for that.
Do you think Howie did it or AJ? Who did the graphics? Who's
James
in control?
Dolan, I think.
James Dolan. Wow, he's in control. Man. Owning the sphere, yeah.
There's a 45-minute movie you can watch or film that you can watch at the Sphere. It's $120.
Yeah.
So when you put it in that perspective for like an extra 200, $100
deal.
It's a bargain.
What video are you watching at
It's
this
like
Sphere?
It's like
wildlife.
Postcards from Earth or something like that. Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
Oh, so you literally you go in to watch that.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
think Ash went to see it.
Oh.
So we'll follow up with him.
That's way cheaper. I would do that.
Lots of thoughts here on the Backstreet Boys on a Tuesday. But yeah, go check out the No Dunks Walk and Talk video again up on YouTube. Go hit it with a like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube. Podcast listeners, we love you. 5-star ratings and reviews. Okay, what are we doing today? We're going to talk a little Summer League.
Reminisce of some Summer League stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to ask you before we get into the hoops of it all. Did you watch the Big Dumper smash any taters last night?
I did.
I just want to say that sentence.
Did. It's fine. Yeah, Cal Raleigh is hitting home runs. We call it a big dumper. What I was surprised by in the player intros, they use the word ass, they use the word damn. I was surprised by that. Met Pat McAfee and Coast, I forget his name.
Okay. I didn't watch a single second of this.
But
thing.
to use
The home
those
run derby
words,
we're talking about.
Yeah, the home run derby here in Atlanta, and to hear those guys go on. We're in the Bible Belt. I was just surprised to hear the word ass and damn in the intro.
Okay.
Although it was fun, and the home runs were very fun. Yeah.
I only saw the one highlight. So he won.
He
the
did.
Big Dumper is his nickname. Who's like on fire, right? He's at 38 home runs at the All-Star break.
He's beating everybody.
Yeah, so he wins this
And
thing.
he's a catcher, and he's a switch hitter. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty amazing.
First catcher to win a home run derby.
But somebody got robbed of a home run last night. Did you see this? One of the kids or one of the fielders literally took away a home run.
Oh, that's amazing. No, I didn't see
I don't know
it.
who it was. I don't know who the batter was. Climbed the fence and snagged it.
Oh, I missed that.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Well, anyway, go check out the home run highlights if you're a fan of the baseball. But no, let's talk a little Summer League because I want to start with a dunk that we saw yesterday. So this was Monday. Pacers sophomore wing Johnny Furphy let's be honest, the dunk of Summer League so far.
Yes,
There's a lot of basketball still to go in the desert, but look at this, man. He grabbed the board, he put it behind his back around the three-point line, then he got into the lane, cocked it back almost to his hip, and threw it down over Bulls rookie Noah Essenglay. And just dirty Tass.
Yes. If you're not watching this on YouTube, come on by. It is ridiculously beautiful. I thought Alijah Martin of the Toronto Raptors had the dunk of Summer League, and it couldn't be topped. But then Johnny Furphy comes out with this.
10 times better.
It is, especially because you've got Noah Essenglay, who's a monster trying to block that thing. And then a photo here on YouTube where it looks like Noah Essenglay is possessed a little bit, kind of like Chet Holmgren when Aaron Nesmith went over him in the finals. It's just so good. It was awesome.
Look at that photo. I mean, he was just challenging way too late to have any chance of this, I thought. You know, he's a shot blocker. He's a skinny guy, but he's going to be a guy that's going to deter shots at the rim. You got to go for these. You're going to get on posters. But that one, was maybe the wrong business decision. I just think he had zero chance, and then suddenly he was just in the poster having to sort of duck out of the way and made that funny face.
Yeah, I love the fact that he tried. You got to try.
Of course.
But if you're watching, did you know Johnny Furphy was going to cock it back like that? Like he gave himself an extra second, right? Because Noah Essenglay is coming by.
Yeah.
If he's just trying to dunk it, then maybe he's got a bit of a shot.
It's a good point.
That's a cockback.
You did not think he was going to add the flair that he did, putting it down like that, again, almost
That's
to
awesome.
his waist as he flies through the rim. And it's so pretty with the wraparound, dribble to set it up. That's sort of like becoming his go-to move. He had another dunk earlier in Summer League where he did the exact same thing. Got the defender with that back around the back dribble, and then he just threw down like a two-hand dunk, if I remember correctly. It wasn't on somebody, but he's an athlete.
Yeah.
And Halliburton was tweeting about it. My God, Johnny MF Furphy.
I'm starting to feel maybe it's this time of year where you get super optimistic about every team, but the Indiana Pacers were able to just make so many guys into great players. Now we got a Johnny Furphy, who was there last year, didn't do a lot for himself. Jarris Walker, also in his second year last year, now going to into year three. Isaiah Jackson, who's taken over for Miles Turner in a lot of ways. I don't know, maybe the Pacers are going to be great. All of a sudden, they got a lot of good players.
Unbelievable dunk. We'll see if anybody can top that one. I would guess no.
Yeah, no.
I would guess no,
No,
but
I thought Alijah Martin had it, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
Right.
That was a beauty. It was monsters, but not that big.
wasn't Furf dog. Some news we had on Sunday, I guess this was, right? The Mavericks have decided to shut down Cooper Flagg for the remainder of NBA Summer League action, ending his Vegas stint there after just 2 games. Had the rough first game, the jumper wasn't falling, just couldn't score all that well. 5 of 21 in game 1, followed it up with 31 points in a loss in game 2. That was the most by a number 1 pick in Vegas Summer League since John Wall, which we learned at the live show there on Friday in Vegas, and he just looked incredible. But no surprise, I don't think, Tass, that we see a lot of teams do this now. They play like these high rookies, these high draft picks, like 2 games, sort of like kick things off for Summer League, and then 1 more on the weekend, and then that's usually it if they look okay.
This is the new official cutoff for number 1 or number 2 picks. 2 games, but now it's a little bit different because they have pushed it forward a little bit, and I think that's a good sign. They pushed the first date for Summer League earlier. It's Thursday now, so the games are Thursday and Saturday. It's a Thursday primetime game, everybody can watch, and then a Saturday first game afternoon.
Right.
So it's more of a
Pack
prime
the
time
arena and stuff like that.
Yeah, and instead of doing it on Friday and Sunday like they did last year, a lot of people have to leave on Sunday, so you get less. If you get fewer people there, you kind of, we all know that these guys are going to play 2 games, and then the second week of Summer League is for the hardcores. This is the first 2 days now are Thursday and Saturday, and they're more featured games because of the time that they put them at and because there's more people around in Las Vegas. I will say I'm in love with Cooper Flagg, though. I was just excited to see him that first day. I don't care if he was 5 for 21. I loved how he saw Bronny and say, I'm going at this guy, and call for it. And so get clear out is what he called for. And to go to his own shot multiple times, he can pass. And he was so mad at himself saying it was his worst game ever. Come on. I just like the effort, game 1. And then you said the highest point total for a number 1 pick since John Wall in game number 2. I mean, he recovered pretty quickly. He's a good player, period.
31 points in a 40-minute Summer League game is actually a lot.
Yeah.
I know 31 in today's NBA is like, we can just roll our eyes at it. We barely talk about it on a daily show because you got to get into like the 50s and 60s to get like that sort of note. But out there in Summer League, that is a lot, as he's just proved there being the number 1 pick to score the most since Wall. But defensively, too. Guys like you're going to be in a league with Wembanyama, so you're probably not winning a lot of Defensive Player of the Year trophies, but he's going to be in these conversations with your Chet and Wembys and all these great perimeter defenders. Like, he just is that good immediately. So that jumped out. And it was like this idea of like, hey, Cooper Flagg, you're sort of our point guard here. Like, this guy was operating all the time.
Yeah.
There was like, we are going to give him the ball, let him go through like the ups and downs of an NBA game, getting doubled, having to make quick reads and stuff like that. I thought he's got better as in these 2 games as they went on. And I mean, that's sort of scary too. This guy's a monster. And he looks like it out there against these other guys. So great showing, and they shut him down, and not a surprise.
Yeah, and he won't be doubled as much when it comes to the actual play with other guys on the basketball floor that are NBA players, so that's a great sign. But I just liked how he's getting into his shots. He looks super confident, and this guy's focused on basketball, and that's it. He's a basketball geek. So I'm sure he would have even wanted to play the second week a little bit.
Oh, wow.
He likes basketball.
That's for the sickos, for sure. Let's talk about some other Summer League standouts. We can bounce back and forth. Why don't you get us started? Who's had your eye here through, I was going to say a week of Summer League. It sort of is if we count the other leagues for some of the teams, but a couple days here in Vegas. Who jumps off the page to you?
Let's go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Start with a young guy, get to an old guy. Joan Beringer. their draft pick looks freaking good. He is a monster center who's only played basketball for 4 years. He's 18 years old, but he can block shots. In his first game there in Vegas, he had 5 blocks in the first 8 minutes. And he's playing against an NBA player. He was playing against Yves Missi, who played for the Pelicans last year as a starting center. So this isn't just playing against anybody, but he's just got great timing. And the comparison to Rudy Gobert, who's going to be teammates with, they're both French, that makes sense. Also makes sense from the fact that he won't be asked to do anything offensively. Rudy gets asked to do a little bit more. Like Rob Dillingham, his teammate, said, no, he doesn't care about the basketball, which is a great sign, I do think, for the Minnesota Timberwolves going forward. And I am looking into their rotation a little bit because they did lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker this past offseason. So who's going to take over for him? Well, TJ Shannon, Terrence Shannon Jr. I think we're all going to go with TJ Shannon instead. He looks like he is very, very capable of being a ball handler, passing the ball, and we know he can score. We saw him in the playoffs do that, but the number of assists, I think he had 9 assists the first game. He just looks like he's doing more of that, and they said that he's been working on that the last couple of months. So Nickeil Alexander-Walker wasn't really an assist guy. But he could do everything, and they're asking a lot of TJ Shannon to just fill in. And so Rob Dillingham is also going to have to be a part of that 3-headed point guard. Rob Dillingham looked decent. And then you've got Jalen Clark who can come in and play defense. So whoever has to do something, it feels like this team that went to the conference finals 2 years in a row has some options for sure. And TJ Shannon, I say old because he's freaking really old. I think he's turning 25 soon. It's kind of surprising. But he's think
he was that old.
Yeah, I know. He's been really focused on being more of a playmaker because we know the guy's super athletic and can score. Rob Dillingham's the really super young guy. Hopefully they have somebody that can help replace Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who, I'm here in Atlanta, maybe a little overrated right now with how much. I love Nickeil Alexander-Walker, obviously. So do the Hawks. It's a smart signing. But he's almost been put on this pedestal as an amazing player who.
Well, probably a part of it is like free agency sort of being not a lot of guys moving. So he's like, you see him on the short list of names that actually move teams.
Yeah, and he's a good player, obviously. But the Wolves, I think, have some options here to try and replace him. Will they replace his defense? No one can ever replace his defense. They're going to try Jalen Clark at times, but he doesn't have the offensive game. So Nickeil Alexander-Walker, very good player. Hopefully the Wolves can find a way here.
Right. Well, they basically were making that decision. We're like, we can only pay sort of 2 or 3 of these guys. And he got maybe squeezed, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, in what he got.
They did. They would have kept him if it was cheaper, yeah.
Right. But obviously Naz Reid and Julius Randle, the extensions, the contracts and stuff like that. So that's a part of it. But you're right about Terrence Shannon Jr. slotting in there. That's the hope for them. And then these young guards to like sop up more minutes from the aging Mike Conley in the backcourt there with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that part's the bad part.
There's that part too.
Yeah.
I've been pretty impressed with Hawks guard Kobe Bufkin. Now, he hasn't shot the ball all that well. That needs to tick up. The percentages are not pretty here in Summer League. I think he's shooting 6 of 22 from deep, but he's living at the free throw line. The playmaking is there, and it's just fun to see him because, in 2 seasons, he's been on the Hawks roster, but he's played 27 of a potential 164 games.
Yeah.
Like he played a little bit more in the G League, but like barely saw much action here in the actual league. We saw him. We called one of his best games in the G League.
Yeah.
We were on the call there, and he was amazing to see in person, and I think he's been really good here in Vegas. He had a good game on Monday, 25 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 4 of 8 from 3, so much better than those 2 games prior shooting the 3 ball. He's averaging 21, 5, and 5, and again, like I said, he's damn near automatic at the free throw line, 24 for 25. He's only missed 1 and getting there a lot. So that's good. I don't know, there's not going to be a ton of minutes for this guy. Obviously, Trae Young takes a lot of them, and they've got a lot of guards there, but he's a guy that he's shown promise. There were flashes. You understood it. You could reason why he was the pick he was, but he's just been injured for so much. So it's cool just to see him play basketball right now.
Yeah, it is astonishing. He's kind of flown under the radar league-wide because he hasn't played enough.
No.
He just hasn't. And he gets after it defensively. He's obviously a super talented offensive player. He just has the handles. He can do a lot of things. I'm surprised that he's shot that poorly. Thought he'd be better.
Yeah, he's like shooting like 36% through 3 games. So
well,
he's scoring. I mean, the numbers are there, but again, percentages are low right now.
Yeah, I wonder what the Hawks' long-term plan is, but yeah, he's not going to find a lot of minutes.
No.
He's not.
But then again, guys go out with injuries, and then you got to step up, and you got to like control that. Take that opportunity.
There's other guys. There's like Keaton Wallace out there.
Yeah.
That he played really well for the Hawks, but now with Nickeil Alexander-Walker plus Trae Young plus Dyson Daniels as ball handlers, that's gonna be tough.
Hawks are 3-0 here in Summer League too. One of the teams with 3 wins and 0 losses. Funny ending. Did you see the ending of this Hawks Rockets game?
No.
It was one of these incidences where the guy, I forget who the player was on the Rockets. It's like sort of last couple seconds they gotta go for the tie or whatever it was, and the guy chucked it in, like it went into the basket on the sidelines, out of bounds play around half court. You gotta wonder, should it count?
Oh.
It'd be sort of cool if like you get like you could get like it'd be a special player that only can do that, like can just hit these out of bounds shots from like, I don't know how far that is, like 40, 45 feet it feels like.
So did he do like a soccer throw? Like
yeah, I mean,
two-handed?
Yeah, a little bit. And then I was like, it was like, ooh, did it get deflected in? Because that would count, but it didn't in the replay. But anyway, it's funny. And some great names in this Hawks Rockets game. Let me just give you 3. Nelly Jr. Joseph. Adonis Arms. That's his name. And Great Osabor. His name is Great, but Adonis Arms. I mean, that sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like Vince McMahon would have come up with Adonis Arms back in the day. Yeah. Some jack dude on steroids coming to the ring.
No, they're great names. I thought Carter Bryant was a great name because it's like 2 first names, 2 last names. Which one is it?
Cool name, but these are unique.
No,
Nelly Jr. Joseph.
I know.
So that's a fun part of Summer League. Just looking at the box score, going like, what the hell? Who is that?
Johnny Furphy is a pretty cool name.
Of course. Let's keep it going. Another round. Who's impressed you?
Well, the Blazers' Yang Hansen has been fun to watch. I just love how in control of the offense he is. First possession of his first game in Vegas, he called for that backdoor. He's calling the plays out there while he's playing. So he's very capable of running an offense, having the offense go through him, and the passes were there. 5 assists for a big center. It's a little surprising.
And he is a big center.
He is big.
He's like 7'2", big.
Yeah, so is he too slow out there is a fair question. Defensively, specifically. He blocks shots, and I think he's very capable of moving out there. And him and Donovan Clingan are going to battle. I think Yang Hansen is going to be part of the rotation. Offensively, I would say he's a superior player to Donovan Clingan.
Right.
Defensively, Klingan's the guy.
Right.
But they picked this guy at number 16. He was up in the second deck of the Barclays Center because they didn't think he would be picked. So the Blazers and Joe Cronin, who's often criticized for what he's doing there, heck of a job here. And the fact that not only did he pass, he drove at one point where he spun around his defender at the 3-point line. He started at the 3-point line, drove past his defender, did a spin, and who knew that this guy could do it, and scored. So he's very, very capable. I didn't know that we would see this right
touch.
away.
The basketball IQ does jump off the screen. That's why you're getting the Jokic comparisons, Chinese Jokic, which is, we could probably, slow down on that. I think a lot of people, when they're saying it, a little tongue in cheek. Yeah. But the passing, yes. The ability to see the floor like that as if he's like a soccer player. Sure, like seeing those angles and obviously all these slick bounce passes he's been throwing. He's done it a couple times in these couple games. It's not just like that one off the top, but
no, he's got hands.
He's gonna have to add a shot too. I mean, he was never a good 3-point shooter in the Chinese Basketball Association, and I think he's 1 for 5 from deep so far, and the one he hit was like a
banker.
It was a lucky banked in shot.
Oh, yeah.
So
the shot needs work.
Yeah. But you're right about being the offensive hub there, operating up top and just move off him. And he's so big. I mean, he can sort of make any of these passes, either flipping it inside or underneath.
Yeah, and you have all these young, athletic guys around him, so you can just keep cutting with this guy if you're willing to run for Yang Hansen. So that makes a heck of a lot of sense. He's not the Chinese Jokic. Maybe Jokic is the Serbian Yang Hansen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, flip it.
Oh, my God.
Somebody said that out there, and I thought, okay, it's ridiculous, but it's funny.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Hansen's going to be, what, a 4 or 5-time MVP?
At number 16, just looks great right now.
Definitely, like you said, it had a lot of people going, what? Like, who is this guy? He was like He wasn't even in like some people like draft experts like top 100 or like maybe like just cracking top 50 if that. So it came out of nowhere with the 16th pick when he got selected. But yeah, I mean, to show up in Summer League, to obviously have the highlights, he also seems like just a great, character, like a great dude. Like all the comments he's had about like, oh, people are asking him like, what are you gonna do when you meet Jokic? He's like, I'm gonna ask for his autograph, his signature. So he's got some zings. He's like a pretty comfortable guy. So he's looked good. It just it's just so funny. Like like 10 minutes of Summer League action and where we can go with like our projections immediately. Yeah, it's great. That's Summer League, honestly.
So they have the two centers and him and Klingon, and Robert Williams is the third center now that they released DeAndre Ayton. I don't know why he wouldn't be part of the rotation. It's deep. He's not starting. He's not starting for the Portland Trailblazers.
No.
But as I said, if Scoot's cutting for him off the bench, like if they're both playing off the bench together, and Shaedon Sharp's cutting for him off the bench, we'll see who starts with Anthony Simons gone. There just seems like a lot of guys to work around this hub.
It will just be, will he be absolutely exposed defensively? Will he just be put in so much action and not be able to keep up? Maybe not, but like he is the type of guy, like, I mean, anyone that plays pickup hoops, he's the type of guy like everybody wants to play with. Just like Jokic.
That's a good point.
You move, you're getting the ball.
Yeah.
He's looking to pass even before he scores. So that can be like contagious, right, for a team, and the vibes can be good. So maybe just one of those type of guys that come in and sort of change the game. He's obviously a type of different player than Klingon. So yeah, they reached, but so far so good with Yang, not Yang.
Yeah,
Kevin Pelton at the live show, the Hoop Collective live show, which we checked out. Awesome job by the two Tims and Brian Windhorst. But Pelton, one of the guests, didn't he say that? Correct way to say it, Yang Hansen. He even said Yang Hansen, I thought, or something like that.
Yeah, they're not the Hansen brothers.
Would you see the Hansen brothers in the Sphere?
No.
Oh,
I see. If it's about just reminiscing, the Hansen brothers haven't cut it. But
imagine the bops on the big screen.
Of course, that's all I do. There's a restaurant here in Georgia. It's EM space bop. And all I do is, are we going to bop?
Oh, no. Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't that nice, but whatever. Would you go see the Hansen brothers?
No, I would not. But I'm sure they put on a great show. Little love for Jazz forward Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah.
You can make the case that he's like Vegas Summer League MVP right now, even though his team is not winning. That's going to hurt his chances, I think. I think the Jazz are 0-3, but he is averaging 29 points per game out there in Vegas. He had an awesome game yesterday, 35 points, 11-19 from the floor, 5 of 8 from deep. He had 11 boards, which included one offensive rebound that he grabbed that then set up the game-tying dunk in traffic. That could have easily been called an and one. There was a lot of contact, but he threw it down tied up at 91. Unfortunately for him and the Jazz, the Spurs' Riley Minix, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, he hit like a game-winning turnaround jumper that was tough in the corner. Jameer Nelson Jr. draped all over him, and he hit it, and then everybody went nuts. Even Wembanyama celebrating. It was like they won the title. But point is, Filipowski has been really, really good here, putting up just big numbers and shooting the three with confidence.
I don't think there's a national podcast that's talked more about Kyle Filipowski than this show. We've referenced him during his rookie season. Well, no, I would say the bar is pretty low in terms of national podcasts. There's Jazz podcasts that talk about Kyle Filipowski, but we mentioned him multiple times because he had a 30-point game in his rookie season. I was a little surprised he didn't get one Rookie of the Year vote, considering how splintered it was in terms of players. But he showed the ability, what you just said, he can shoot it. There's no doubt. And he can defend. At times, you could watch him guard from the three-point line all the way to the rim. This is a big man who can move his feet. And so I can understand why at some point they were always going to trade John Collins or let him move, but at some point, this guy's got to play and see how many minutes he can play.
See you later, Walker Kessler.
Well, that's a great question with Walker Kessler. We'll see what Ace Bailey can do. I know he's obviously more of a wing, but they have a lot of bigs. There's no doubt, along with Lauri Markkanen.
And there are reports that they're not trading Lauri Markkanen. I just saw that, because everybody was like, they were shipping out any sort of vet or any sort of talented player this summer. And they maybe are going to just lean into playing the young guys and probably be bad again and have another, crack at a high pick. But they say he's not one of those guys that are moving. Now they may say that. They may want to just drive up his, his trade value. He didn't have the greatest season last year, and some of it was injury related and all that, like he did the year prior. But yeah, I mean, this guy, Flip, as they call him, he's been amazing. He can really, really shoot it. So he should have an opportunity. But they're 0-3. I think he would win MVP right now, but he's not going to. I know they don't care about the record that much, but it's got to play a part as you sort of go on in this thing and advance, right, to the later rounds.
They've got a lot of bigs. Is Kevin Love going to play for them?
No, I highly doubt it.
I would. Yeah, they got to find somebody.
Yeah,
they got Taylor Hendricks. They have Kyle Henderson as part of that deal. So
Kyle Anderson.
Yes, Kyle Anderson. My
Henderson,
bad.
Nevada.
Henderson, wow.
That's what you were thinking.
Yeah, I love Henderson, Nevada. I don't know why Henderson came out. I wasn't thinking of Henderson, Nevada. But it is that place where people come onto the strip and they're from Henderson. They're like, I got to get out of here. Got to go back to Henderson. Got to go back home.
Are you talking about some of the No Dunks fans that came out to our show?
Anybody, I think.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, where are you from? Oh, yeah. I'm from Vegas. And you're like, oh, wow, where do you live? Where do you live? In the Cosmo? No, we don't do that. But they're like, it's obviously a suburb or another city outside. And then they're like, you like Vegas? Like, oh, God, I hate coming in here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Generally.
Yeah, to us, Vegas feels like the Strip, but there are other parts around Vegas. Yeah.
And then my just final note on that game, which was really entertaining. Again, this was an overtime game, the Jazz and Spurs. A guy that's impressed me, just to slip it in here quickly, David Jones-Garcia. That guy belongs on an NBA floor, man. He's good. He's good enough to play in this league. We've talked about him before, I remember, in the past. Maybe it was last summer league for all I remember, but he's been he's playing really well for the Spurs as well. I don't know if it'll be on that team, but somebody should give this guy a look here and have him on either a two-way or something like that, because he's been filling up the box score so far. But let's do another round or two. Who you got?
Here's a guy who has a two-way. The Toronto Raptors, Alijah Martin, second-round pick. Already signing this guy because he's got good vibes. He also had the biggest dunk of Summer League until Furphy came along. That was a beautiful cockback. Shot blockers coming there. So you think, well, maybe this 6'1", 6'2" guard as he's listed. Well, not dunk.
Yeah, lay it up, floater.
Something.
That's what it looked like in the play when it was developing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then
he doesn't care. Yeah, because he goes at it. And that's exactly why the Raptors are banking on this guy. And they want him to be part of the locker room. Him and Jamal Shed coming off the bench. Now, maybe there's a little duplication there because they're similar players, but I think they're going to play together at times. And to get this guy two-way contract immediately, there's a reason for that. It's because he goes extremely hard. He's very good, surprisingly to me, offensively. He had a nice step back. The threes are there. So he's got that part of him. He is undersized. There's no doubt. But him and Jamal Shed, who I saw Jamal Shed giving a stare down to our man Boyles, who just played his first game, like immediately gave Boyles a stare down. What are you doing, man? So there's good vibes there. That's what they want. They want guys holding each other accountable. It feels good. It feels like Alijah Martin can be one of the guys coming off the bench along, with Jamal Shed primarily, but you start to see the photos of all those guys at Summer League. The Toronto Raptors' entire roster is there. They got all five of their starters are there, plus these bench guys are coming in as well. It's like their whole freaking roster is there. Plus, I heard our guys at Hello and Welcome say how many assistant coaches they have.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's like 20 plus.
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that.
Rolling deep out there.
Can't play blackjack because they would literally bust. They have more than 21 coaches. They have more than 21 coaches. How is that possible? I still almost don't believe it. Does that mean there's 21 employees at Summer League? They can't have 22 coaches? That was nuts. Anyway.
Well, the Vegas Raptors out here have forced 63 turnovers through 2 games. 63 turnovers in 80 minutes of action, because these are 40-minute games. And
how do they do that?
On one hand, you're like, well, who cares? I mean, yes, it is Summer League, who cares? But I saw our guy S at The Athletic wisely point out, a lot of these guys on the Raptors Summer League roster are going to be on the main Raptors. Not the starters, like you were saying, like being out there and around the team, and that's good for vibes. But like maybe 7 or 8 of the players on the Summer League team are going to be actually on the Raptors. So this is cool if all these guys are just like defensive dogs, because that's what they've been winning these games so far. And like if that's going to be like the bench unit sort of vibe where Shed and Jacoby Walter and like said Martin,
Colin Mary Boyle's going to be
the rookie for
part
sure.
Of it. Yeah.
There's Mobo, there's Shamshay, like, and that's why these guys can be so aggressive on the perimeter. These little guys, because you have Mobo and Olshey and CMB helping out defensively. Like you got some confidence behind you that you can be a little more aggressive out there. So be cool if this can translate into the actual Raptors roster in the season. And again, there's an identity. People are trying to come up with like a nickname for this squad already, like this defensive-minded team. Now, again, like they're playing the Bulls Summer League roster, and then they were playing the Magic Summer League roster. So it's like, okay, whoa. But if that's the identity, that's great.
Yeah.
Because, that's not going to be that's not really what your Ingrams and your Quickleys and most of your starters are really going to be about. And you do need to score in this league, but holy man, these guys are aggressive. Like they are picking up teams like full court and have forced a lot of these turnovers. It's like 32 steals, 10 blocks. Like they're pretty wild numbers for short games.
Yeah, the Bulls had 33 turnovers playing these Toronto Raptors in game number 1. A lot of it is because of these defensive dogs. So the starting lineup, you have Quickly, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes is the defensive one, but Brandon Ingram and Jakob Poeltl, they can just play offense. And you bring in your dogs. They do have an attitude which Darko Rajakovic has wanted. So right now, they look fantastic because of that.
The nickname I saw was Border Patrol. Didn't love it.
Too political.
This idea, like people coming into Canada and they're like the customs officers, they're the agents shutting things down. I get the thinking, but I'm with you. We can do better. Also, let's see if they can do it in the actual NBA.
Yeah, that's probably...
It's probably a little different against actual NBA competition.
Yeah, their nickname a few years ago when it was Jakob Poeltl, Pascal Siakam, the bench
That was
bros.
just a bench mob, wasn't it?
Yeah, bench mob.
I think it was bench mob. I have a sweater, or I had a shirt that had it on, or maybe you did too at one point.
Didn't feel like it said bench mob on my shirt,
did.
but it's probably right.
But you're right. It was the Van Vliet and Siakams and like that sort of wave of guys. Yeah.
Congratulations, Fred Van Vliet, the new National Basketball Association Player Association president.
Yes.
Whew, that's pretty cool. How
much do you think he gets paid for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I know.
Anyway, we'll see how those bench players, if they are a part of this, we'll see if they can be that same type of team. But Jamal Shed is playing. He's like the Davion Mitchell that they traded away, like what Davion Mitchell is doing in Miami, like that type of defensive attitude. He's playing. That guy is going to play.
Yeah.
Again, he looked at Colin Mary Boyles and gave him a stare after he didn't get out to a 3-point shooter. And this is Colin Mary Boyles' first few minutes on the floor.
You get the comparisons of to Van Vliet, in all honesty. Like that sort of just, he's a leader. And he just sort of is a winner in that regards. And people respect him and stuff like that. So, okay, two more guys to talk about. Kings guard Nique Clifford. Sort of a guy, again, I'm not like a draft expert, so I didn't know a lot about him coming into the draft. He, I guess the Kings they traded like a future pick to get this pick later in the first round to take Nique Clifford, and he's looked good. Monday, he had 19 points, 7 of 8 shooting, hit all his threes, 3 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block in limited time. The Kings are winning here in Vegas. Through 3 games, Clifford is averaging 18, 6, and 4 with 2 steals per game. He's shooting 60% from the field. The highlights that I've watched of him, he's scoring in a number of ways. Turnaround jumpers, catch and shoot threes. I love the pump fake parties he throws inside. 3 guys draped around him, doesn't panic, uses the pump fake, bodies guys out of the way. He's pretty crafty, I think, around the rim. And he's old. And this is a thing. The Kings drafted this guy. I think they got up there to get that pick to take him because they're like, he's 23 years old. He might actually be able to contribute from day one. And I know they have a lot of guards and wings on that team, and some of them are much, much older, obviously, when we're talking Levine and DeRozan. But this guy should, I think, they hope, contribute right away. Because he's not one of these 19-year-old, he's got to learn the game, learn the ropes. No, he can play right now. So Clifford is impressed.
Yeah, him along with Devin Carter, who had a rookie year last year here, where he was injured the entire season, basically. He came back really super late. as a dog to go along with Keon Ellis as a dog. Those guys really get after it. Now, Devin Carter's shown that he can score. So I am interested to see, as much as we all ridicule the Sacramento Kings, who they are, what they are with this team that's, what are they? Really, they struggle to find an identity. There's been talk about moving Malik Monk. It's logical, I think.
Right,
I think that sort of makes sense if they're going to buy into, alongside your DeRozan and your Levine, you throw out Keon Ellis, who's going to play, and Devin Carter, more of those than just keeping Malik Monk, who's a great scorer, obviously. But yeah, that would make more sense. At least there would be more of an identity. And maybe I'm just relying on all the defensive guys. We've gone with the Toronto Raptors defense. We've seen a lot of dogs creating. The Charlotte Hornets have got after it defensively. Maybe I'm just banking on that in summer league. Maybe I'm just saying, oh, these guys aren't great offensive players, but they can play defense. So I'm starting to, reconstruct some rosters out there.
Well, it helps you get on the floor in the NBA, though, that you can defend.
Okay.
Now, you have to do more. You can't be a joke offensively, especially in today's game, because people are just going to, leave you alone, and then suddenly 4-on-5. But, yes, that's at least how you, get a coach's attention.
Carter Bryant.
That you compete on that end.
Yeah, there's a lot of Spurs. Yeah.
I've been impressed with Clifford, and he wears number 5. Just took Fox's number, just like that.
Huh?
And there were some people like, oh, I don't know, that feels weird. But then other people like, what do you mean? We're not retiring De'Aaron Fox's number in Sacramento. Which, I don't want to speak for Sacramento Kings fans, but I don't think you would be. He had a decent career there, but right? You're not hanging number 5 in the rafters. So go ahead, Clifford. Wear it proudly.
Yeah.
Who else you got? One more round.
I want to go to the Miami Heat because there was the California Classic. Kasparas Jakucionis wasn't playing all that well. He was drafted extremely high by the Miami Heat, but he had a bad California Classic. First game, he comes into Vegas, bang, 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 banged home 5 threes. He looked like that offensive player that they drafted. He just looked so comfortable with the ball, and you start to get a good feel that this guy could be coming off the bench along with Davion Mitchell. They lack depth on their team, and they let go of Duncan Robinson, so they need some three-point shooters, and he looks like he can do that. He was comfortable doing that. So kudos to him. I will say the Miami Heat are a very interesting team. You saw Eric Spoelstra here at Summer League call out Khalil Ware. He basically said his professionalism, his accountability, let me quote him, his professionalism and consistency has to improve after Khalil Ware's first game at Summer League. That's a call out. Why would a coach do that? And then Khalil Ware came out of the second game. Oh, he played. Dennis Scott interviewed.
That's why he did it.
Yeah, he had a great game. Dennis Scott interviewed him during the game. He said, "Yeah, my effort wasn't there his first game." And then post game, he's asked about it again. He said, "Spoelstra called me to step up," and I think it was Ira Winderman who asked him again. Well, are you going to be more consistency? Are we going to see more of the what Eric Spoelstra was asking you of? He said, "Yeah, you will." And so after a bad game, he had a good one. And they're calling him up because they don't have a lot of depth. Khalil Ware, I think, will start beside Bam Adebayo. But if he's not being professional,
is the call out like, hey, man, you're not better than Summer League yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was good as a rookie.
Yeah.
But you're like, hey, you're not too cool for Summer League yet. Like, go out there and use this seriously to work on your game and to try and lead this team.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me after that first game performance. Like, you're going through the motions, maybe.
You got to do that every single night.
Yeah.
Every single night of your life.
Sounds like you're preaching Heat culture there.
I guess. I mean, that makes sense. Again, I'm starting to buy in a little bit. After the Norman Powell edition, put him beside Tyler Hero and Andrew Wiggins, Khalil Ware, and Bam Adebayo. And if Jakucionis and Davion Mitchell can come off the bench to be their primary bench players, hey, everybody's picking the Hawks as the team, and why can't the Miami Heat be that?
Okay.
They're a top 10
spicy take.
They're a top 10 defense last year. Why can't they be better than this team? Look, they got bombed by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. They got destroyed because they couldn't score. There's some scores on this team. Norman Powell can friggin' score.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to buy it. This
is buy-in season, though, baby.
Yeah.
Talk yourself in every team right now.
Well, at least they were in the play-in, So, yeah, the Hawks, Heat, I could be bought into the Charlotte Hornets. That's deep. That's
I
a
thought you were
going
to say the Pacers still.
Oh, yeah. I said that earlier.
I know.
Yeah, I'm buying then. Yes, give me the Furph.
The Hornets.
Isaiah Jackson. Yeah. Well, I think they're on.
I'll stop there.
Yeah, you can stop there.
Yeah.
I think they're on a better route than last year, better path, a better roster construction for who they can be. I was excited about Ryan Kalkbrenner and because he was Defensive Player of the Year. It was the coach's Defensive Player of the Year, whatever it was called. Anyways, he was great, but he's a second-round pick. I think him, Liam McNeely, they have better guys. Are they NBA? Hey, we're making the playoffs in the Eastern Conference? Nah, dog. I doubt that, but they are far better. And
what about Knipple?
Yeah, the Knipple.
Yeah, he was their high pick.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work with LaMelo. That's questioning me. It's nice to see LaMelo out there, but who's going to score? Who's going to do other things in that starting lineup? I don't know if that's all going to mesh. I just like a little bit more of the construction, a little bit more of, hey, we're going to play some defense. We'll see if that actually translates to the starters. We'll see.
Fair enough. Maybe a direction for sure.
Yeah.
Let's get into some off-season news. That's enough summer league talk. We've fallen in love with 20 guys. But off-season news, the Grizzlies agreed to a contract buyout with point guard Cole Anthony. So when that process is completed and he does clear waivers, the assumption is he's going to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks. For those that don't know or remember, he was on the Orlando Magic last season. He averaged 9, 3, and 3 in pretty limited minutes. Cole Anthony did. Had some big sort of moments. Like he can catch fire. He's one of those guys. But then he got traded to the Grizzlies in the Desmond Bane trade that brought him to Orlando. And so that's why he's on the Grizzlies. That may have like really confused you, but that's why the buyout's happening. And yeah, he might join the Bucks here. I think, our guys at The Athletic are reporting that. I think Shams is saying that. He's going to Milwaukee. What's your takeaway?
Well, he's insurance. We've got Kevin Porter Jr. there that could be a starter, but could also implode. That's not a lock. Ryan Rollins is their other guard who can play defense, but not a great offensive player. So Cole Anthony can come in and, light it up. He can. And so they have a balance there. But again, if something happens with Kevin Porter Jr., Cole Anthony can be out there. He's their third guard. We saw with the Orlando Magic who needed a guard. They didn't go to him a ton. And so they went to other options.
Yeah.
So
and then the Grizzlies felt like they didn't need him either.
Yeah, so he's insurance. I don't see him running this team. He's a great locker room guy. You always watch Orlando Magic, whether it's post-game press conferences. I mean, he does a good job of supporting other players. So I think he's good at that. And so that's what he's there for, really, in Milwaukee. I think they need better vibes. I mean, who doesn't? I think that just goes without saying. He's only 25. He's not old. It feels like he's been around the league.
Feels like he's been around way longer than to be 25. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, what? Is that a typo? Nope. He's 25. Yeah, I agree with all of that. Insurance for if Kevin Porter Jr. / Ryan Rollins doesn't work, as these young guys maybe have showed promising, flashes of point guard play, but maybe they're not the answer. So you can turn to him in case of emergency. And he's not going to I don't think he's going to be a sour note in your locker room. He seems to be the exact opposite. You're right. People rave about this guy on and off the court with teammates and the community and the media and stuff like that. So that's what they're getting here.
Yep.
And, it's what happens. This is what you got to do when you don't have a lot of options because of your cap situation and with the Damian Lillard injury. And so they go out and get Cole Anthony. A lot of people think they've done pretty well here with, again, limited options to try and keep this team competitive and try and keep Giannis happy is the other part, which, that's died down to some extent. The idea of him asking out, trade rumors and stuff like that. Yeah. It's quiet right now.
Giannis doesn't like taxes. He was on that boat. He was doing I guess it was a Twitch, I don't know, some sort of video with somebody else, and somebody had to ask him, and he didn't seem super excited about him leaving. New York was mentioned, some other big city. I don't know if it was LA. He goes, they have high taxes. He just kind of wanted to brush off the question because I don't think he's leaving.
Yeah,
you're right.
I've always said that.
Yeah, I don't think so. But as you said, what John Horst has done here, what the front office for the Bucks has done here is they're trying their hardest.
Yes.
They've done everything they could possibly do to stretch and waive Lillard, to do everything they can with the rest of their money. The question is, these next few years, they got nothing else.
Right.
So they got to hope for a Kuzma, little improvement with Kyle Kuzma to help out.
And then these
It's gotta
guards
come
to run
internally.
the show here in Porter and Rollins. I mean, like, Giannis is sort of your point guard
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
but still they need to contribute. And like, yeah, maybe the Giannis trade rumors are quiet right now, but you know when they get very loud, if they come out of the gate and they're 3-15 or whatever, something brutal. I don't think they'll be that because you got Giannis on your team, but you get my point here.
Yeah.
If the record starts to be like, ugh, okay, well, this didn't work, then maybe that just ramps all back up again because that's what it would do.
There is pressure on those other guys. Giannis can't carry your team for 82 games. So when you say they could start 5-15, or if they do start 5-15, yeah, there is some pressure, and I think it is on Kuzma. I think it is that right now. I know Kevin Porter Jr. can score. There's no doubt, but Kuzma's got to be a ball. He's got to be a scorer. They need somebody.
We had some extensions over the last week or so. I'm going to chuck them all at you here. Jalen Williams and the Thunder agreed to a rookie max extension. That could get very, very pricey, but, has seemed to be deserving of such a contract extension. Devin Booker agreed to a 2-year, $145 million max extension with the Suns. That's a lot of money per year once those kick in. And then Herb Jones and the Pelicans agreed to a 3-year, $68 million extension. And Isaiah Jackson and the Pacers agreed to a 3-year, $21 million deal. Any of those four you want to really dig your teeth into?
Well, Jalen Williams, I know some wondering, why do you got to give this guy a max? I guess. I mean, him alongside Chet Holmgren, I guess they kind of are a tandem. Like, are we overpaying for guys? I will say Jalen Williams is a rock. He's only getting better. I think he's young. He hasn't reached his peak. I think it's totally fine. Obviously, it starts with Shea. But if you sign Jalen Williams to a max deal when Shea's already being great, then you're all right. Jalen Williams at 24 just had his first alcoholic drink after winning the trophy. I mean, we saw him in the Cosmo food court after his rookie year. So that was 2023, and he didn't even have a drink then in Vegas.
The discipline.
Yeah. His parents are both part of the Air Force. I mean,
so you're saying when he was 23, now 24,
Yeah.
that's different to you and me when we were 23, 24.
God, yeah. Yeah, I think he's a little more grown up
Because
than
of the damage we had done already.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to clarify.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's grounded. Way more grounded than we are or were, period.
I can't believe there are people actually questioning whether he's deserving of this. But I guess they say, well, yeah, SGA's your max guy, and then you're going to do it for this guy too. And then Chet Holmgren. Now that one, it's like, well, the guy's been injured a lot, has barely played. I'm talking about Chet Holmgren. Like, okay, maybe that one you pump the brakes a little bit. They just won the title, though, and they're like, let's just lock them all up. Let's go from there. We'll figure it out. Yeah. And they've done good work around the fringes and all their other contracts. So it's like, yeah, it gets crazy expensive when you're at up to $750 million plus for three guys. But, they are doing other things around with the rest of their roster. And eventually guys will get squeezed. Like at some point, it's either Caruso or a Dort or something like that, where it's like these embarrassment of riches that they've set themselves up with because of all their young guys on young deals until the extensions start kicking in. You can't have it all, but they're like, who cares? Let's go win a couple championships.
Right.
Or try to. So, but Jalen Williams is already an all-NBA all-star player.
Yeah, just won a trophy, getting better in the playoffs when he had an injured wrist. He literally got better. He had some bad games offensively, but he kept with it. Game 6 against the Nuggets in round 2, didn't have a good night scoring the ball. Game 7, he comes back. So I think he's just well-grounded. And listen.
And they're two-way players, too, is the other part.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Chet. Like, they're defensive, all-NBA defense guys, type of guys.
Yeah. I might just be manufacturing a little bit of storyline here to say, well, should this guy be a max just to have something to talk about here? But you can see well, look what the Boston Celtics did, paying everybody. Maybe they should slow it down a little bit. But as you said, they've done so well at accumulating draft picks and the young contracts. They're going to get better in other ways. And so it's fine to pay these max guys beside Shea in Jalen Williams and Chet.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Williams is, and fantastic
and yes,
at both
if your
ends.
the window in today's NBA with these second apron stuff might just be like, it's not these, long dynasties. I just don't think that's going to be possible with what you got to pay like your top end talent. So but you can get it for a couple of years. But the Celtic comparison is maybe fair. And and eventually you're like, well, okay, well, now we're not, a guy's injured. Yes, the Tatum part of this equation changes things, but we're not there now on that level, so we can't afford these type of contracts, so we have to start moving off. But for this next year or two, and again, extensions kicking in later, it will get more expensive, but you got them, and you just came off a title. And they're deserving for the most part. I mean, I guess you could push back on the Chet Holmgren. Is he really deserving? I think he's an incredible player. That's the weird thing to me. It's like, I'm like, as much as I love Jalen Williams, I sometimes like, is Chet going to be better than him though? Like the potential with his size, his ability on both ends. Like, I don't know.
Just overall, better.
Yeah, just overall. I'm just saying, if you're like putting them in a pecking order, are you going to have right now? It's SGA, J-Dub, and Chet. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. But would you be all that surprised if Chet jumped him in the pecking order of importance? I guess.
Good question. Will his offensive game grow enough? Because we know he's a fantastic defensive player and stuck with it every single possession out there. Will his ball handling increase, especially because he hasn't played a lot of games?
Well, that's exactly right.
Super duper young, hasn't played enough. I wouldn't be surprised,
right?
Because I think we know what Jalen Williams' ceiling is. I guess I think he will grow as well offensively. But the comparison to the Boston Celtics and to this new era of the NBA, I guess that's why Adam Silver came out at the NBA draft and said, "Welcome to a new era in the NBA," because of all the parity that's happening. And the difference is between the Celtics and the Thunder. The Celtics went out and paid Drew Holiday a ton, as your fourth or fifth guy for the long term, and that butted heads with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum's contracts.
Right,
that hurt
max.
So the Thunder haven't done that. Isaiah Hartenstein's contract will end in a few years. Caruso's way shorter than that. So those big ones, they timed it well. They timed out Shea, Jalen, and Chet well, so they don't pay those other guys monster deals at the same time.
It's an interesting what if they don't win the title. Then what are these guys looking at? Like, is it just still an absolute no-brainer? Here's the max for like basically all three of these guys.
That's an interesting one.
Or is it you feel like, okay, we did win the title. They came through in big moments, all three of them, of course, with SGA as the leader. It's like, all right, they're only going to get better with their age, grow together, and we feel good about the rest of our roster.
Yeah.
As for Isaiah Jackson, they lose Miles Turner, the Pacers do in free agency, and here's what they've done. Re-signed big man James Wiseman, traded for Jay Huff, and now get a contract extension for Isaiah Jackson, the 3 years, $21 million, and they're pretty excited about his development because this was a guy that was injured too.
Yeah, he could easily be their number one guy at center.
Yeah.
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy.
That's a huge question. You mentioned those other guys in Huff, James Wiseman. But I think we'll see some small ball Jarris Walker out there, a small ball center. Again, this is only year number 3 for Jarris Walker. He's barely played in his first couple of years. Played more in year number 2, but the guy can shoot it. So there's just, if we give the Thunder credit, we got to give these guys some credit for how they've grown players internally. That's where it's going to have to come if the Pacers are going to be able to hang with the Eastern Conference.
The groups are set for the NBA Cup in 2025. All 30 teams have been randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference based on win-loss records from the 24-25 regular season. So here's a look for everyone on YouTube. I'm not going to go through these groups because, come on. What am I? Sicko? No, just too boring. But are any groups that jump out to you, Tass? Like, what's the group of death if you had to pick from these results?
Everyone was saying, I guess it's West C.
That's what I think, too.
It makes sense.
You got the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Rockets. Like, just end there, and it's like, whoa, those are 3 really good teams. And then you got the Blazers, who are, should be better, I think. And then the Spurs, oh my God, like with Wembanyama, who's been cleared, good to go. The Monks did their work at the Shaolin Temple, and this guy's back. So that's exciting, and obviously, the high draft pick and stuff. So that to me is the most impressive or toughest group, I think. West Group C.
Yes. Are you going to be able to track? I guess I'm going to say what I was going to say. Are you going to be able to track the groups? Like, is it just going to, is it going to be a little difficult? Obviously, you can go to a website and look.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But should they just replicate divisions in them? I don't know.
That's fair, I guess.
I guess not as fair.
Sounds fair.
And I guess it doesn't copy exactly what they're doing in soccer, I guess.
Right.
To make it more of a different event. You change the groups up. So that's fine. I'm cool.
So these games begin October 31st, Cup night games, right? And they're going to run through the end of November, basically. Each team playing 4 group play games on these designated Cup nights. And then we get into the knockout stage. So we'll have 8 teams. You'll have the winners of each of those groups. That's 6 right there. And then the one each in East and West. The next best record, point differential, as we've seen, comes into play here. And who knows what the courts are going to look like.
Right.
That's the other part.
Yeah.
What are they doing? We've done the runway, sort of the that strip down the middle. We've done now the circles, triangles. You want to go triangles? We've done rectangles and circles. Matt Austin could design the courts. It's a very deep pull. I mean, that pull might be so deep, Tass doesn't even get the reference.
Triangles.
Yeah, Matt Austin, when he would doodle, he would just always draw triangles, like connecting triangles.
Oh.
Yeah. JD, confirm? The triangle band, Matt Austin? Yeah.
Confirm on the doodles?
Yeah, he's the doodle. When he's not eating his pen lid, he's doodling triangles. It's one or the other.
Got to ask Victor Solomon what he's going to be up to.
Oh, you think Solomon has a play in these courts?
He did last year,
Did he?
I thought.
I thought. The guy does everything for the NBA. So yeah, you must be right.
It was runway.
If it's him or Jeff Hamilton. If it's wardrobe related, it's Jeff Hamilton. If it's anything else, it's Victor Solomon.
We're going to start a group with Victor Solomon, got to get his number, and Matt Austin. So Matt Austin will consult at least.
Oh, I know Matt does listen to our show or watch the show, so maybe we could have him do a mock for a potential NBA Cup court.
Great idea.
We'll just give him, get him a template, have him go nuts.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, it's a great idea. We should open up to the No Dunks universe, to the fans.
But doodles are back, baby.
Well, yeah, just doodle an NBA Cup court and let's see what we can get. Let's get the ideas going for the Solomons.
The circles last year, did you like them? And they went super bright with the colors.
Just like the year before, some courts worked better than others, and usually had to do with their color scheme, and the brightness of it, or some stuff like. I guess overall, I liked them more last year than maybe the year before. But then again, I'm always like, yeah, but did you, or you just were then now used to like this very flamboyant, over the top design? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because we've sort of gotten used to it.
I'm more of a runway man myself.
Runway man, you like?
I'm a runway man. As well.
Runway man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
some of those colors were too bright. But yeah, I wonder if they'll be open to triangles. I mean, Phil Jackson, triangle offense. I don't know. Just saying stuff. The biggest thing for me is that they're starting on October 31st. There's a reason for that. The game intensity starts early.
Halloween.
No. Yeah, I guess.
Well, we could go, just like spooky courts, cobwebs, more of a moody tone, dark tone.
Just October 31st?
Just that one, yeah.
Yeah, you need Victor Solomon.
Yeah, come on.
You're going to get to work,
man.
Every single game is going to be different. We know somebody that can help out. But I do think Adam Silver's looking at the calendar, the NBA calendar in general, overall, throughout the years. Maybe the NBA season starts on December 25th. That starts on Christmas. Now they're pushing this alternate tournament that has definitely increased intensity earlier and earlier to have other options to make it look like guys are trying harder.
Is it starting just a week earlier to last year? Must have started early November, right?
Yeah, I think it was mid-November. But
okay.
Anyways, it says October now.
No, I know.
Sounds early.
I think a big part of it too is, and it sort of goes nicely into our final topic. Amazon Prime, one of the new broadcast partners, they're going to be leaning heavily on NBA Cup action as sort of like they're like, hello, we're here. You know what I mean? Because they don't have conference finals early on. It's like a couple years out for at least Amazon Prime. So maybe that's part of it too. Got new broadcaster here, all this new talent. Let's see what they can do. Here's an NBA Cup game.
Well, they have other games.
I know they have other games, but I think that's like their big sort of launch off.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we now know that Kevin Harlan has signed with Amazon Prime Video to call NBA games beginning later this year when we get the season started. The Athletic says the deal was signed in May, believed to be 3 years. And in addition, Amazon has added our guy, Brent Barry. there's a court idea, the Bone Zone. So he's coming on as a game analyst. So Kevin Harlan and Bones.
Well, you got a Halloween idea, I think, with Bones.
Damn.
Could be wearing a skeleton costume at game number 1.
This is good.
Yeah, let's get
Bones,
it going.
you need to be in a Halloween costume as a skeleton on night 1 here for Amazon Prime. Prime Video also have said that they're not going to have set announcing pairings or like an A and a B team, but Iron Eagle is likely to be the voice for the top games. So that sounds like an A team broadcaster. But anyway, you got Harlan as your B team. I mean, Jesus. And again, they don't get the conference finals till 27. That is confirmed. But man, TAS, they are stacked here.
Yeah.
Let me give you Amazon Prime right now. Play-by-play announcers: Harlan, Iron Eagle, Michael Grady. 3 bangers for play-by-play announcers. Their analysts include Blake Griffin, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Candace Parker, Stan Van Gundy, and Dwayne Wade. And apparently more analysts are going to be hired. Cassidy Hubbarth is going to be their number 1 sideline reporter. And then Taylor Rooks is going to be hosting the studio show. That's pretty damn good.
It's very, very, very full of talent.
That is a lot of talent here to start year 1. Again, and maybe more names to come. But gotta love Bones being back on TV. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
After being, I guess, with the Spurs front office for a little bit, and then he was a Suns assistant for a hot minute. But he's back, and come on, Eagle and Harlan and Grady. Wow,
They're stacked.
and then hold on, who's got Collins and Curry? They've joined one of these. Maybe they're NBC. I saw something going around.
Eric Collins and Del Curry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm interested. With Amazon, I was interested to hear them say, "We are fluid. There's not a hierarchy here. We could say we got our games. I forget what night their games are. I haven't looked. But if we got our games on Wednesday night and we want to have this guy and this team out there, then we'll do that. And we'll just flip it around."
That's interesting because a lot of time we're like, you got to build the chemistry up. You got to get your reps in as a squad, like a crew. But they're sort of coming at it like, do you? Maybe it works. It can work swapping guys in and out, because they're also saying some of these guys, like the athletes, like former athletes, might be in the studio one night and then on the call, the next night. So that's sort of interesting too, bouncing back and forth. No pressure.
Well, it does seem like they've modernized a little bit by saying we're fluid. We'll change things up. Maybe we don't have to have the same guys go out there and do the same broadcast over and over and over. I understand you want chemistry, but just to switch it up. Just see what we got.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe you do that to find out which pairs, which teams start to click.
Yeah.
Which ones work, which ones don't.
That's what you got to do.
So you try it out. Give it a go. Anyway, it looks like a stacked roster.
Very stacked.
And I NBC is doing some, pretty great hirings as well. So it's I'm sort of excited. Just I'm gonna miss. Well, I was gonna say I'm gonna miss TNT Inside, but it's gonna be on ESPN. That will be weird. The studio show with Ernie and the boys. But I'm excited just to see what production ideas these 2 big players in NBC and Amazon unveil. New things. I mean, I assume NBC is going to lead into the nostalgia of it all. But what will Amazon sort of vibe be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just it makes it a little more exciting for us.
And that's why this whole "we're fluid" is a good idea. Just because this is a modern situation here. I'm excited just because I don't have to watch TV anymore. I'm using apps.
Oh, yeah. You're an app man.
Because I was always an app man. I was using the NBA app. But anyways,
He's an app man.
App man.
That's a short right there.
That's a great tune.
Just you opening apps to a Statman remix. He's an app man.
Statman.
Hey, JD, get your son in here. We got a short idea for him to work on. All right, we'll call it there on news, though. I will just slip this in. We learned yesterday Paul George underwent a successful arthroscopic procedure on his left knee on Monday to treat an injury suffered during a recent workout. Paul George.
Wow.
This news to you?
Surprising.
Am I breaking news to you?
Yeah, I wasn't checking.
Yeah, he's going to begin a rehab program. He's going to be reevaluated prior to the start of training camp. So he suffered this during a recent workout and just had surgery on it.
Oh.
Not a great start for the
That
Sixers.
sounds very unfortunate.
Not good.
It wasn't one of those lingering injuries.
No.
Oh, that is
This
unfortunate.
is sort of a new one, or at least, re-aggravated something. to the point where he had to get a procedure on his left knee.
Yikes.
Yeah.
This is
You just almost have to laugh if you're a Sixers fan at this point, maybe. Right?
spooky. Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah,
Maybe there'll be the first Cup night game on October 31st. Anything else? What are you doing for the next couple days? As we, obviously the shows are not going to go daily right now. We'll be back on probably Thursday with any new NBA news, maybe some more Summer League thoughts, maybe something else. You got an idea? Maybe we'll hit the beach. Get your questions in. NoDunks@theathletic.com. Leave them in the YouTube comments. Tweet at us at NoDunksInc.
Nothing really planned for me. Just surviving. Kids have been off. This is week 7 of the kids being off school.
That's amazing.
But who's counting?
Yeah, me every day.
When do they go back? Early August?
Yeah, they always do. Any plans for you?
No.
JD?
You're
Recording a new episode of Thumb War tomorrow.
okay.
Today, after this, actually.
And what
Superman?
is the movie?
Superman saw it yesterday.
Okay, come on, tease us a little bit.
Loved it.
Yes.
Loved it.
Great to
Loved it.
DC is back?
DC has arrived, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, well, that's
I've
true.
never been a DC man. No, that came out wrong. DC man. A DC man. Yeah, I loved it.
I heard there was too much dog.
You know what? I saw the dog in the trailer and I was like, I'm out. Immediately out. Man, I have a dog. I have 2 dogs.
Right.
One of them I like. The other one is a dog. And I'm all in on the dog. You know what it is?
What is it? Crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah.
Dog is a bit of a dick, and I think I like that.
Oh,
Like kind of out of control. A little like Hazel, my favorite dog.
Okay.
So, I was in. A completely CGI too, but I was still like, this dog is pretty cool.
couldn't use a real dog.
It's super.
Well, I guess the
dog.
dog's what? Is the dog flying?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's got super
It's a
powers.
super dog.
Yeah. Wears a cape the entire time.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So you like you really like this movie though.
I surprised myself.
All right.
But
Okay.
I loved it.
I got some movies to go see in the movie.
Yeah,
theater.
it's worth
I want to
seeing.
see F1,
Which is also
which
good.
people are saying is fine, but
I liked it.
see it on the big screen. Okay, you saw it.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see Superman.
Yeah.
I feel like there's one more. Well,
28 years later, if you can catch it in the theater.
We'll not be watching that.
Okay.
I just don't care. And
Fair enough.
I was gonna say Jurassic Park, but people are saying do not do that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I guess I got 2.
Go see Superman. It's good.
Okay. All right. Can't wait. Let's call it there. Again, we'll be back later this week with thoughts on Superman, I guess. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Eric Collins, apparently, according to our Trey Kirby, who's chiming in here, he's on Amazon.
Wow, they have him too?
They got them all, I guess.
Slow down, Amazon. Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's a lot of packages being delivered. I don't know. It doesn't actually make sense.
Yeah, I was like, where? Yeah.
Because they would be delivering them, Amazon would be delivering packages to themselves.
Right. Well, if Jonas Valanciunas got a job at, like later on when he's
Deep
done,
cuts.
Or if
Very
he
deep
gets a
cuts.
job with Amazon and they're going to say your package has
Package
been
has been
delivered.
delivered.
Wow.
It's perfect.
That'd be great. That's incredible. Okay, they got a stacked team. We'll see you later this week. Brace the day, people.